Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Biochemistry Club. This is Hina here, and today I am going to guide you how you can prepare your application for the Japanese government MEXT Research Scholarship 2025. So if you have not subscribed to my channel Biochemistry Club, please do so. It will be a great help from your side. So before moving ahead, we will first check the guidelines and the supporting documents which are required for this scholarship application. So for this, we will click on this link. Another point which you have to keep in your mind that the last date for this scholarship application is May 10th, 2024. But in this case, we are not using any online portal. We have to submit our application form along with the supporting documents to the concerned embassy by post. So I will highly recommend you to prepare your application by May 9, 2024 so that you can timely apply for this particular scholarship. So moving towards the application guidelines, we can find it from here. So this document contains the complete information about the MEXT scholarship, including the application procedure and the further screening process, but we are only concerned with the application form and supporting documents. So we will simply move towards table number 9. And here you can see we have the list of the documents: application form, placement preference application form, field of study and research plan. We need academic transcripts for all academic year of university attended, certification of graduation or degree certificate of the university attended, and recommendation letter from the president or the dean or the academic advisor at current or last university attended, and medical certificate. These are the mandatory documents which we will need to submit our application, but there are some other optional documents as well. For example, if you have completed your research, you have to submit the abstract of your thesis. If you have undertaken a language proficiency test, you have to submit the certificate for that particular test. If you are currently doing some job or if you have an experience of some job, so in that particular case you have to submit the recommendation letter from your employer. Or the last one is photograph. So you can see that here are some notes. For example, the first one is the documents indicated in the white circle. These are mandatory documents, but those indicated by the black circle, these are optional. You have to submit these documents only if these are available. Okay, the second note is we should fill these forms in English or Japanese. The third one is ensure that there is no missing information in application form while we are printing out it. So the documents should be numbered 1 to 11. So all these documents, for example, if you have completed your application form, you have to write number 1 on the upper right hand corner of the first page of application form. Similarly, when you will be working on placement preference form, after taking the printout, you will write on the upper right corner as 2 because this is the second document. So we will complete our application. We will take the prints, and after taking prints, we will write the number of that particular document on the top right corner of the first page of this document. So this is the third guideline. Okay, so note 4 is about the applicant's photograph, and here you can see that there are some guidelines that it should be of clear quality, it should not be older than 6 months, and photograph should be 4.5 by 3.5 centimeter. It should be focused on upper body, full face with no heads. And once you have taken the prints of your photograph, you have to write your name and nationality on the back side of your photograph. So these are some guidelines about the photographs, which is the document number 11. Okay, the next one is the sheet of the field of study and research plan should describe the applicant's past and present field of study and research theme and plan in Japan, as it will serve as an important reference for the placement of applicant to a university. So while you will be working on field of study and research plan, you should focus on your research interests, because on the basis of your research interests, they will place you on a particular university. So after completing the application guidelines, we will move towards these documents and I will show you how you can fill in these documents. Okay, the next section is about the transcripts and degree certificates. So, if you have completed an undergraduate program, you have to submit your transcript. If you have completed a graduate school and you want to apply for the PhD program, in that particular case, you have to submit the transcript for both undergraduate as well as graduate program. But if you are currently enrolled in undergraduate or graduate program, in that particular case, you have to submit a provisional transcript showing your grades up to the semesters which you have completed so far. Okay, the rule number 7 or the note 7 is about the degrees, and the same applies here if you have completed undergraduate program or graduate school. In that particular case, you have to submit your degrees, but if you are currently enrolled in undergraduate or graduate program, in that particular case, you have to submit a certificate of prospective graduation from the undergraduate program that you will find from your concerned department or university. Okay, then there is a medical certificate which you have to submit. Okay, the note number 9 is about the abstract of thesis, but if you do not have thesis in that particular case, you can simply provide the list of papers which you have presented anywhere in some conferences, national or international, or if you have some publications, you can mention along with abstracts. Uh, Please provide this information because this is very crucial for the evaluation of applicants' academic ability, as you can see here. The last one is English language proficiency certificate. So if you have taken IELTS or some other language proficiency test, or if the medium of instruction in your university was English, you can simply take the certificate from your concerned university, and this certificate will be used as English language proficiency certificate for this scholarship application. So this was all about the application form and supporting documents which we need for this scholarship application. Now I will one by one download these application forms and will show you that how you can fill these documents for MEXT scholarship application. Okay, the first form is application form for the year 2025. So this is the checklist. You have to complete all 11 documents. So the first one is application form, and I have downloaded this form. So let's see how we have to fill in the application form for the Japanese government MEXT scholarship. So this is how the Japanese government MEXT scholarship application form looks like. And before filling in this form, you can see there are some instructions. The first one is type or write neatly by hand in block letters. So we have two options. Either we can type on computer or we can take the printout of this application form and then fill in by hand, but using block letters. The second one is use Arabic numerals. The third one is write years in Western calendar and then write proper noun in full form without abbreviation. So I have entered the information in this form. The first section is about personal information, where you have to mention your surname and the given name. It should be same as on your passport or other identity documents. The next one is gender, marital status, nationality, Japanese nationality. If it's no, then you can leave these two sections blank. Date of birth, age, and the section 7 asks some questions about contact information. And the first one is current address and the country. And if you reside in Japan, you have to mention the visa status above. Okay, the next question is about address before departure for Japan. And if it is same which you have provided above, you can simply click on same as above. Otherwise, you have to mention the complete address here. And if you will not mention here, it will significantly affect the visa issuance. So you have to check here, yes, that you completely understand that if you are not applying or if you are not providing the exact result, the airline ticket to Japan will not be provided. So click here, yes, that you understand it. Then there is question number 3, name of Japanese diplomatic office where you will apply for the visa issuance. So you have to mention the name of embassy or Japanese consulate in your country. Then question number 4 is about phone number and then email. And then we will be on section number 8. This section asks, have you ever been awarded a Japanese government MEXT scholarship in past? No. If you select yes, you have to provide the complete information about your previous award. So because my response is no, so the section number 2 and then the question number 3 and the further subsections of this section 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, they will remain blank. So I will simply jump to the next section, that is section number 9. And here, the next question is, are you applying for any other Japanese government scholarship? So if you are applying for any other scholarship, you have to mention here by clicking on one of the responses, yes or no. Section number 10, and again, this section contains further sub-questions. Are you scheduled to be receiving any scholarship from organization other than the Japanese government MEXT scholarship? So if you have applied or if you have received a response from any other scholarship awarding agency, you can click the response accordingly. If you will select yes, you have to answer the complete details about that particular scholarship. So because my response is no, I will left the next sections blank. And I will clearly jump to the question number 11, which is about academic record. Okay, so there are some instructions to fill in this particular section, among which the first one is write your record from primary education to most recent educational level attended only as a full-time student. So we have to exclude the kindergarten education or nursery school education. We have to write the complete information about the graduation certificate, for example, the year and the month, and if the status is expected to graduate, then the applicant has to mention the expected year and the month of graduation in the space provided. If the applicant chooses some other status, he or she have to mention in the remarks section. The preparatory education for university admission is included in upper secondary education. So the applicant has to mention if he or she has passed the university entrance qualification. So any school year or the level skipped should be indicated in remarks column. And if you have attended multiple schools due to some reasons, you have to write all those schools in the same column. So you can see that this table summarizes the complete educational information starting from primary education to university. So the first one is elementary school, where you have to provide the information about the first 8 years of your school education, including start and end date. The second one is about the last 2 years of your school education, that includes the low secondary education, middle school, junior high school. And the third section is about upper secondary education, that is equivalent to college of your college, and then tertiary or the higher education, which is under graduation. So if you are enrolled in university or if you have completed your graduation from a university, you have to mention the start and the end year, and then you have to pick here that whether you are graduated or not, and whether your degree was equivalent to bachelor level or master's level. Okay, again, the tertiary or the higher education, but this is not about undergraduate. This is about the graduation degree. So if you have 18 years of education or if you have master's degree, you will simply fill in this form and you will mention the years of your master program. Then you will click here if you are graduated or if you are expected to graduate. And then you have to mention the master's level. So at the end, you have to count the complete years of education which you think have completed as of April 1, 2025. Then you have to mention the remarks. For example, I will simply give the remarks because I have all my transcripts and degrees with me. So I will simply mention that I am graduated. Then there is section number 12, that is about field of specialization studied in the past. So I will simply give an overview of my research projects which I have completed during undergraduate or master's degree. Have you ever written a thesis? If yes, you have to provide the abstract or the title of your thesis. Okay, the section number 13, have you ever written a thesis? Yes. So here I will give the title of my thesis, name and address of the publisher, and the publication date. So the abstract of thesis will be submitted as a supporting document, as I have mentioned earlier. And because I have publication, so I will give the link to my Google Scholar account for the access to my publications. So you can see they have clearly mentioned to submit the abstract of this thesis. Please make sure to submit the abstract of thesis, which is document number 8, in a separate paper with your name on, if you select yes in the above section. Okay, the next one is question number 15 is about the first course you plan to take in Japan. Doctoral, because I am planning to apply for PhD. Of Okay, the next question is preferred month of arrival in Japan. The next one is term you wish to study. So up to completion of doctoral program. Do you currently have a job? If yes, you have to mention your job status. Question number 19 is employment records. So if you have employment history, you have to mention the duration as well as the major job responsibilities. The question number 20 is about motivation for studying in Japan. So you have to give the answer to this question in 2 to 3 lines. Okay, the next question is, why do you choose Japan as a destination to study graduate level education? So you have to give your answer that what is your motivation to apply to Japan? Okay, the next question is, what kinds of things do you think you can contribute to Japan and your home country through your experience of studying in Japan? So again, you have to mention that how your study will contribute to Japan and to your country. Then language ability, Japanese and English, you have to select excellent, good, or fair depending upon your language proficiency. Japanese language qualification, no Japanese language qualification, so I will simply give my remarks here. English language qualification, because I do not have IELTS or the TOEFL since the past 2 years, so I will mention here I have English proficiency certificate issued by my university. Accompanying dependents, if you are taking any of the family member, including your spouse with you, you have to mention the name of that dependent along with some other information. Question is contact person in your home country in case of any emergency. So you can give the contact to any of your family members. Okay, the last question is about your most recent visits to the Japan, because I do not have previous visit to the Japan. So I will left these sections blank. Okay, and then I will check this response because I am agree to the all terms and conditions, and then date of application. So this is how you can fill in the application form for the Japanese MEXT Research Scholarship. After the application form, the next supporting document is placement preference form. So let's download this form. So this is placement preference form where you have to give the preference of 3 universities based on your research interest. So firstly, we have to mention the name, gender, nationality, date of birth, same as we have mentioned in our application form. Field of study in Japan, for example, if you are planning to pursue biological sciences, engineering, or any other research degree, you can mention here. Detailed field of study in Japan. If you have any idea in your mind or based on your research plan, you can give a brief introduction or the brief summary of your research plan or the field of study in Japan. Then you have to nominate or you have to give the 3 choices of your universities based on your research interest. So firstly, I will recommend you to please check the websites and check the faculty profiles. If you see that a particular university has a faculty member whose research interests are similar to yours, so you have to nominate that particular university or academic advisor. And then you have to check this response and your placement preference form is ready. The third document is field of study and research plan. So we will download the template from the website, field of study and research plan. So you can see here, first of all, you have to mention your name, surname, nationality, and then you have to give your past and present field of study, research theme, and research plan. So I have a template. So here you can see I have a sample field of study and research plan. So initially you have to mention your name, nationality, And then you have to give your past and present field of study. For example, if you are applying for the PhD degree, you have to mention the research projects you have completed during your BS or master's degree, and currently the research projects which you are working on. Okay, the next section is research theme and research plan. So based on your research interest, you have to mention on which project you are interested to work. So for this purpose, I will highly recommend you to please explore the different Japanese universities and research profile of different faculty members. Particularly, you should target those universities which you have mentioned in your preference form. So once you have identified your research topic, you can write a research plan or the research proposal on that particular topic. And I have a separate video on writing a research proposal. So you can watch that video for the important guidelines for writing research proposal. So here is the research proposal, which I have mentioned in this document. Okay, the next section is academic transcripts for all academic year of university attended. So original documents are not required, only copies are sufficient. Certificate of graduation, again, degrees of undergraduate or the master's program. It totally depends whether you are applying for master's or PhD program. And the document number 6 is recommendation letter from the president or the dean or academic advisor at current or the last university attended. So free format, a sample format is available. So let's see the sample, recommendation letter sample. So I'm going to download it. And there are some requirements of recommendation letters. So as you have seen in the guidelines that there are no specific format for the recommendation letter, but there are some questions which the referee have to address. And it's your responsibility to share this template with your referee so that they can completely comment on those particular questions. That will definitely improve your. So as you have seen in the guidelines that there is no So as you have seen in the guidelines that there is no particular format for the reference letter, but there are some questions which are mentioned in the sample which the referee have to answer. So it's your responsibility to share this sample with your referee so that he or she can comment on your abilities. For example, the first question is during which period of time have you had the most frequent contact with the applicant? So the referee have to mention the duration, what was the nature of your relationship? In what area does the applicant need improvement or growth? Please comment on the applicant's interpersonal skills. How would you describe the applicant's leadership skills? Please comment on the applicant's degree of self-confidence. Please comment on the applicant's personal character. Please indicate your overall evaluation of applicant for the Japanese MEXT Scholarship. And then any additional comments that the referee would like to mention. You will So by sharing these questions with your referee, you are making sure that the scholarship agency will find the appropriate answers to these questions from your referee. Okay, the next document is medical certificate, and we can download certificate of health from the website. Okay, so this is the health certificate which should be filled in by some physician. After medical certificate, the document number 8 is abstract of thesis. Then language proficiency certificate. Again, the copies are required. Recommendation letter from the present employer only if you are doing some job. Photographs according to the specified specifications. So these are the optional documents. Once you have completed all these documents, there are some submission guidelines. So once you have completed the application form and supporting documents, there are some submission guidelines. For example, you first have to take the printouts of all these documents on A4 size paper. Do not submit the original documents, only send the copies. Documents must be unstapled. Do not staple your documents, only use paper clip to arrange or assemble all these pages. Arrange the documents in specified order. For example, the order you have seen in guidelines, you will follow the same order for the arrangement of your papers. Mention the document number on the top right corner of the first page of every document. For example, on application form, on the first page of application form, you will write on the top right corner as document number 1. Then placement preference form on the first page of this document, you will write the form number 2. So the sequence of document will be same. Mention the name and nationality at the back side of the photo, and all documents must be placed or sequenced in the same order as we have seen in the guidelines. So after this, what you will do, you will seal all these documents in an envelope and you will send them for the courier. And this is the address of MEXT Research Scholarship application submission. It totally depends on from which area you are applying. For example, those applicants who are from Karachi, Balochistan, Quetta, or adjacent areas, they will send their applications to the consulate office of Karachi. And those who are applying from Punjab, they will send their application to the head office, Islamabad. So this is the address along with email and telephone number, which you have to specify on the envelope. While on the other side of envelope, you will write your name and contact information. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. So if you have any additional question regarding any section of admission application, so you can ask in comment section and I will definitely give answer to your questions. Good luck with your application. Thank you.